Greetings, everyone. Hi, how are we? Of course, we have to have the bois before we start a WorldAnvil stream. We're such a chill community. This is such an epic intro. I know, right? How are we? How is everyone? Hello, for those of you who do not know, I am Strixline. Hello, I am one of your fellow Anvilites, and I have taken over today's stream. How are we? How is everyone? We are in September, finally. Isn't that exciting? Perfect bois, 10 out of 10. Oh, thank you. Amazing. So today we are talking about getting started as a streamer. And in particular, because, you know, this is the community for it, getting started world building on stream, or just doing any creative thing, really. I know we have a lot of world builders, like writers, artists also. There's so many wonderful people doing wonderful things, and I'm here to help you learn how you can get started sharing that with the broader audience of the internet. And of course, with our fellow community here. So, this isn't a super structured talk that I'm going to give, but I have a lot of tips and advice that I've gotten from my friends who also stream and who have been pretty successful at streaming. I have a couple of friends, they're like Twitch partners, or gosh, my new friend, Abuwagu TV, also has given me some wonderful, wonderful advice, many bullet points for getting started as a streamer. This guy's been streaming for like 6 months, already at 1,000 followers. I was lucky number 1,000, by the way, that was really cool. But no, streaming is awesome. Streaming is a lot of fun. I'm very nervous right now, because I'm, you know, I hit my microphone. Oh, gotta take a little sip. It's okay, yeah, listen, I know. But no, we have to get started about like the very, very first thing about being a streamer, and that's, you know, the basics. And of course, as you have questions, absolutely do ask away. I will try to catch them. Wake up check, yeah. Many apologies. But yeah, if you have questions here, I'm more than happy to answer any that I have. I got a lot of questions before this stream, so I've tried to formulate some answers for you all. Oh, and Sunny Bird Boy, hello, how are you? Greetings. Greetings, everybody. But yes, let us see where we can begin. And if we can get our little getting started, the absolute basics. Ha ha ha. Question brainstorming time? Yes, indeed. So yes, I think the very first thing about becoming a streamer is finding what exactly you want to do on stream. What is it that you want to share with people? And also ask yourself the question, why do you want to share it? I'll give you my personal answer why I started streaming. Oh, TJ, hello. So why I started streaming. I wanted to connect with more people online in communities. I wanted to get my work kind of like shared with other people. You know, I want people to actually see what I'm doing, what I'm working on. And more than that, this thing that I love working on, I suck at talking about it in real life. Where sippies? Oh, I'm sorry, we don't have sippies on this channel, but I'll take one for you. Listen, I'm a very anxious person. I don't know if you can tell. I suck at talking about the things that I love in the real life, in real like person space. But somehow, when I sit down in front of my silly little computer, to my little microphone, to my little webcam, I can just start talking, and I feel totally fine. I feel totally normal. I can share the things that I love with people and not feel like super self-conscious about it. It's really nice. And so streaming is my outlet for just talking about all of these things that I've bubbling and burbling inside of me. And now I get to make it everyone else's problem. And my channel is like, my channel is my little home, it's my little nest, and I invite other people into it to come listen to my silly little rambles and silly little talks. And you know what? If they don't like my silly little rambles and silly little talks, they can go somewhere else. And sometimes that's totally fine. I don't need people to stick around who don't want to listen, right? And that's one of those lessons you learn as a streamer. Some people really want to hear you out. Some people really want to hang out with you on your streams. Some people kind of don't. And the people who don't really care, it's okay if they don't show up, right? you don't need a gigantic audience if half that audience doesn't really feel any investment towards you. But oh, we got the questions. Should make a stream about how to create a sheet. That'd be pretty cool. Working on things on stream is really fun, and it's a great way to get feedback on things as well. Let's see, what's your favorite way to combine topics? I want to stream both tarot and my writing, and I'm finding a way to meld them. Ooh. Yes, combining topics. We'll see. Okay, I'm the type of streamer who jumps around in so many different directions. Because of course I have my writing streams, I've also done art streams, I do gaming streams, I do kind of like bits and bits of everything. And so if you want to do bits and pieces of all kinds of things, just have like recurring themes, a recurring just aura to your stream, so you know that whoever's coming in here, no matter what it is that you're doing, like they're still receiving you. They're here for you, and they want to be here for you in whatever it is you happen to be doing. Oh, glances around, sees it's a new month. Oh my gosh. But no, if you want to combine tarot and writing, that's actually a really wonderful thing. I think Moro has been doing this as well. Like making characters around tarot pulls, doing readings for characters, doing readings to decide on story plots. There are a lot of ways that you can like intermeld like these different things. Oh my gosh, and Drunken Panda's out here with the tier 1 subs for the channel. Oh, thank you for supporting WorldAnvil. Absolutely wonderful. We love supporting this community. We got a hype train. Oh my gosh. For little old me, thank you. But alright. So, once you figure out what you actually want to do on your stream, like what you want to share with everyone, what this thing is that you love, that you want to do, of course, you need to actually figure out how to get this thing running, right? You need to figure out how to actually get on there. So naturally, the first step is, if you haven't already, make a Twitch account, or wherever you happen to want to stream. There are a lot of options, I believe, still to this day. I know there's PicArto as well for streamers who are doing art in particular, but Twitch seems to be a pretty universal. You can pretty much do anything on here. So, of course, you want to set up your account. And let's see if I can pull up a little tab with what mine looks like. It most certainly did not always look so put together. And that is one of those things about streaming that's just, you kind of figure out over time, you don't need to have everything figured out when you first begin. And that's the kind of thing that trips up a lot of people. It tripped up me in the beginning too. But no, if we take a little peek-see in my channel here, of course, you want to give people a page to land on that tells them who you are and what you do. So you have your profile, you have a cute little picture. It's like, hello, this is me. And yeah, perfectionism really has me in a chokehold. Felt, absolutely felt. And a thing that I think is really important when you're just starting out is panels. Having fun little panels about you, what the rules are for your channel. Having a schedule set up is really important. One of the most important things about being a streamer is consistency. You want people to know when you're streaming. You want people to know that you're actually going live. And like, you want people to know when you're going live. You want them to know that you're a streamer, first of all. And so sharing your streams outside of just Twitch is very important. Because I'm going to tell you one thing, Twitch has negative discoverability. You're pretty much not going to get discovered purely through Twitch. So you need to post that stuff. Post it everywhere. Post all the things. Make sure everybody knows. Post it on the Twitter. Post it on the Instagram. Post it anywhere. Anywhere that you are active. Talk to your communities. Talk to your friends. Make sure that they know you're actually doing something new and doing something fresh. Is there a way to turn down the volume of the music? Absolutely. Get a little tone down. Is that better? I can't hear myself, so it's hard to tell when I'm like being drowned out. But yeah, so it is quite, it's good. Perfect, thank you. Yeah, if there are any like technical difficulties, absolutely, just let me know. But yeah, little step by step so far. I'd like to actually stream, but my IRL is very busy. Yeah, real life loves to get in the way of streaming, and I know that very well. I've had to cancel so many streams in the past month. It is kind of absurd. But that's life, right? That's how it goes. But so there's no shame in having to take breaks. There's no shame in having to miss a couple of streams. I always encourage my chat to let me know when there are issues because we can't tell. Yeah. Because it is very disorienting to listen to your own stream while you are streaming. And so it's a really difficult thing to do. But alright, in order so far. Figure out what you want to stream. The thing that you love and want to share with everyone. 2, make yourself an account on the platform you wish to stream with. Make the account, set it up, give yourself a little about section, set up some panels. And for those who don't know how to set up panels, there are a lot of great resources online like Canva, for example, that help you create a lot of really nice graphics for yourself if you don't have access to like paid software or like the fancier stuff. I do all of my stuff in Photoshop pretty much. Canva, my beloved, exactly. Yeah, I do basically all my stuff from scratch on Photoshop. Like I have my whole branding situation going, and so I kind of have a theme already set up. And so yeah, you've got all that set up. You've got your profile looking good, come up with your about section, come up with some rules, come up with a schedule. I would say that's all you need to get started. Just tell people who you are. Tell people what your expectations are for your chat, and tell people when you're going to be here. Everything else can kind of filter in at a later time. Let's see. Where else can we go? You know what, I'll show everyone my little list here that we've actually been working from. So, of course, you want to actually go live. Fantastic. You're going to need some streaming software. You're going to need something that gets whatever you plan to do onto the place wherever you plan to do it from. And so, of course, we have a lot of options. And this is a screenshot from Fairly Odd Streamers resources. I can make a post with all of the stuff that I talk about later, like a little blog post or something. If you think that will be helpful, I will absolutely draft something up like that after this stream. Get all kinds of links and resources and things, because I'm going to be talking about a lot of things that have, like, you know, links involved, and I think they're all pretty easy to find just searching on the internet, but it's always easier to have a link, right? And so yes, streaming software. This is things like Streamlabs, OBS, Stream Elements. This is where you set up your layouts and your everything, and then you hit the funny little go live button, and here you are, live on a stream. The one I currently use is Streamlabs, but I hear that there are better options. Served me well, pretty well so far. But it is free, and so that's good. Most of these are free, I believe. They're free, but they have different like widgets and options and tools that may be paid, depending on which one you use. Like Streamlabs has a lot of options for purchasing panels and overlays and all kinds of other things, but you don't need to do that. You don't need to buy them if you can just make them yourself. And there are also free options online that can get you set up with like basic overlays and basic everything else. Did you design your own overlays? Yes. Yes, I've made my own overlays. I try to do everything from scratch pretty much. And so, once you have your streaming software figured out, oh, they're great, thank you. Much appreciated. And I would say, in addition to having your streaming software set up, I would recommend getting some chatbots, that's the word. Some chatbots on your stream. I'm currently using the like default Streamlabs chatbot because, you know, it's built into the streaming software I use, so why not? And also Moobot. And so these are fantastic for setting up commands for your channel. And so that's what you'll see in a lot of Twitch streams where people are doing like exclamation point, whatever, like exclamation point raffle, for example. So I have commands for things like exclamation Discord, exclamation socials, exclamation point summer camp was a thing that I had during July. And so yeah, your handsome co-host, Wordy Girl, absolutely. And so this is really great for giving your viewers a way to kind of get information about you and about your stream without them having to like ask for it and then you stopping the stream to like say things and type things out. People can just ask a question and you're like, oh, I have a command for this. And you can either type the command or they, on their own, might type the command themselves to see what you've got going on. It's really fun to have a lurk command because one of the things about Twitch streamers and watchers in particular, there are going to be a lot of people on your stream who just lurk. They just hang out silently, they don't say anything. They're just there to share the space with you, pretty much. And these are some of your most important viewers. Do not think ill of your lurkers. They are the backbone of Twitch. They are absolutely the backbone of Twitch. These are the people who are coming to silently support you even when they don't really have the time or emotional energy to talk and invest in the stream. And so there's another little point to make on that front. You can see a list of people who are hanging out in your Twitch stream. Don't call these people out. Do not look at this list and say, oh, all these people are in here and not talking. I'm gonna say hello to them. Don't do this. A lot of people lurk silently in Twitch streams because they don't want to be spoken to, they don't want to be announced, they don't want to be called out to. They're just here. I'm already being called out for talking about lurks. Oh no. But yeah, no addressing. I mean, I guess it like heavily depends. Yeah, I would back out of a Twitch stream so fast if that happened. Yeah, like make sure that the people you are talking to, at least by name, are the people who are already speaking in your chat. They've already like announced themselves that they are here. And the fun part of having a lurk command is that they can pop the little lurk command. You can say hello to them because, you know, they've made their presence known at the very least. And then you just go back to acting like they're not there. And that just, it's fun. It's a little way for your lurkers to show like, hello, I am here, but I will not be participating today. Please enjoy. Oh, and I'm now going back to responsibility. Enjoy DragonCon. Enjoy. Have a good weekend. Oh, thank you, Drunken Panda. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. I should lurk more, but I fear I'll be called out too much. Oh no. But yeah, see, exactly. There are a lot of people who lurk, and like they would not be comfy with their name just suddenly being called out, right? It's just like, how did you know? How did you know I was here? You know, people get a little freaked out. And that's the point of lurking, exactly. I consider lurking to be a power technique. Ooh. I'm curious to know what that means. But alright, a lot of the questions I got about streaming as well are like about, what if you don't want to show your face on stream? So like, or maybe I don't have a webcam, can I stream still? And of course, you can absolutely stream without showing your face. You don't even need to have a representation of yourself on the screen if you don't want it. But of course, it's a lot more interactive feeling if you have like something, someone, even a character to look at, right? But we know VTubing can be very expensive. It's a huge investment to begin with, but if you want to have a little face on your screen that is not your actual visage, and is also not an expensive VTubing model, there are some really good free options to just get yourself on the screen. Hey, Zavito avatar, exactly. And so here we are, a couple little resources for PNG tubers. So VitoTube Mini, for example, you can set up little PNG images to be voice reactive. and you can just put them onto your screen. And so whenever you start speaking, the little thing starts to, starts a little chat for you. And there you go, that's pretty much it. I believe GazoTuber as well is very similar. It's basically the same thing. You start talking, your little avatar does a little mouth moving, does a little blinking. Very cute. So these options, of course, require you to have images that you can use, but they're very simple images. Just make like a couple frames for yourself. Mouth closed, mouth open, maybe some blinking for some variety. And also, the super simple, super easy to set up is this Discord reactive images. And Vito are lighter on computer resources than a cam. Yeah, there you go. And so this Discord reactive images resource lets you use not only your own image on your streams, but anybody who's in a Discord call with you can also set up their own images, and they can appear on your stream. So this is like a very simple, very easy to use resource. And I'll just hide my little bubble here for now. This is a fantastic resource not only for your own avatar, but if you have friends on your stream, this will do it for you. Because let me see if I can get, well, I'm not in Discord right now, so it wouldn't work. But no, so for free, well, I think VOD is paid. Let me see. I don't know. Name your own price. $5? $5. Oh no, it's free. It is free. Okay. So yes, these are free options for you to get set up with your own PNG tubers. And so you can have yourself on your stream, not your actual face if that's something that matters for you. And it's free. And of course, in the future, the more invested you get in your streams, the more you can invest in your resources, in your graphics, in your everything else. The most important thing is you do not need to be perfect right off the bat. And I know, in a community of writers, it's a very difficult thing to say. And it's an even more difficult thing to follow. But you can start out with a super simple setup. And as you grow, as you start understanding more and more about your streams, about your channel, about how all of these things work, then you start adding more things. Then you start growing and developing, and your entire setup evolves with you. And that often feels a lot better than having like a full beefed out setup from the beginning, because it's very overwhelming. It's very overwhelming to get started like that. Because then it comes with the additional fear of, all right, I've invested so much money into this. If I'm not successful, that's going to be a major blow. So don't set yourself up for failure like that. That is one of those things like that will really hurt you, because you're going to set these massive expectations for your early streaming career. And let me tell you, getting started as a streamer, it has a tremendous amount of ups and downs. It's really difficult in the beginning. Just flat out, it is very difficult in the beginning. But over time, you start building a little community. You start making friends. You start getting regulars in your streams. More people start talking to each other. And the more people talk to each other in your chat, the better time everyone has. And so obviously, in the beginning, when you don't really have that established already, it can be very quiet. You can sometimes feel like your entire stream's gone by, and no one's really said anything, nothing's really happened chat-wise. So you need to go into your streams just, like, you really need to hold on to the idea that, like, your streams are for you. You're here to have fun, you're here to have a good time, and you're sharing that good time with anyone who decides to join you. I've got some wonderful advice, I believe this one in particular from CB Doodles. I have like a little list of advice from specific people who have offered it. And yeah, when you stream creative stuff, writing and all, it's okay to take breaks and do whatever makes you happy. Finding a niche is important, but going out of the niche is good too, even if it means a lack of views. And people flock to others who are having a good time. So have a good time. Do the things on stream that make you happy, even if no one else is around. And when people show up and they see that you're having a good time and that you're enjoying yourself, they'll come in and start enjoying it with you. They will start having a good time with you, and that makes it a wonderful thing. Oh, ECC Books is here with the 33 months, 17-month streak. There you go. Yes, do whatever makes you happy is the best marketing advice ever. Yes, absolutely. Like, especially on a platform like Twitch, people don't really stick around if they just kind of like pop in somewhere and they see you like not really having a good time, kind of like putting on a front, if you will. Like, it's the cheesiest advice ever, but really, be yourself. Be yourself, have a good time, because if you attract people to your channel with a version of you that isn't you, it's going to be extremely, extremely exhausting to keep it up. And eventually, when you decide, you know, I can't do this anymore, I can't like act like this anymore, the people who joined for that specific vibe that you were putting out, they're out. Like, this is not what they signed up for, right? So you want to give people an authentic experience of like, this is who I am, this is the stuff that I like to do, the stuff that I want to share with the world. Please come along this journey with me. And people are like, huh, yeah, I'm into that. That's pretty cool. But if you're out here pretending to like something, and you're like, yes, I love, looks at scribbled writing on hand, new game. People are very quickly gonna be like, I think you're just here because you think this will be successful. As opposed to, oh wow, this person really loves this game. Or wow, this person really loves writing. This person really loves drawing. This person really loves whatever it is that you're doing. And so that really is one of those things. So, sus. Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, and the that being genuine advice is also something that echoed by It's Eggs Benedict. Like, most of this advice is from people who are on my stream team, and of course I bothered them like, hello, what advice do you have for the people of Twitch who want to become people of Twitch? And yeah, so definitely be genuine. You might not get the fastest following, but the people you attract will like you for you and not the mask you put on. And it makes it easier to stay comfortable while streaming and also being yourself. Is indeed, oh, third or fourth try is a charm. Hi everyone. Hi ECC Books, how you doing? And yes, we've already gone over this little topic. Ooh, let me just get some colors in here. Green. It's not really super visible, but it's okay. But yeah, in regards to VTubing, you don't need a fully professional model or crazy debut to get started. Test the waters with a PNG tuber or free Vroid. There are plenty of creative and free options with little investment. So yes, Eggs is indeed a VTuber. A very, very cool, very excellent one. And just realized you're using Notion? Yes, I use Notion for everything. Oh my gosh. And you know, that brings us to another great point. If you're going to start streaming, have a way that you organize all of your information. Have a place where you organize your ideas, your schedule, your basically everything tied to your stream. Make sure you have it somewhere. Your list of resources, all your links, all of your important things, events that are coming up, just everything. Everything. There's so many little things. So many little things that go into streaming. I'm just gonna highlight things I've already talked about here. Orange. And you know, I've started reading other people's advice to me, but let's see what else I haven't mentioned yet that I think is pretty important off of my own list. Of course, I've already stated, find the thing you love and want to share with other people. and how for me that is world building and the silly games that I play. I love adventure games, and I think adventure games tie in very well for the theme of, you know, being a creative writer and artist. And so let's see. Yeah, make sure people know you're planning to stream before you hit the go live button. I did mention that one already. Very important. The first time I ever decided to stream, I told everybody. I told literally everybody. I messaged all my friends. I messaged, well, I posted on every single social media I had. I was also doing article reads, so I was like, hey guys, I'm going to start streaming, I think, and I'd really like to read your articles on stream. Is that okay? And would you like to be there? And they said, okay, and sure. And so that was really great. And so if you're looking to just kind of get started, I would recommend finding like a little debut for yourself where you're involving other people. Because if you're involving other people, and we went, yes, of course. If you're doing something on stream that is involving other people, it gives people like a reason to just be invested straight out the gate. You know, and that's kind of a very rare thing on the internet, right? When you're a stranger in a strange land, not a lot of people stop by to say hello. But this is why we make friendships, like real, authentic, genuine friendships where people are like, yeah, I want to see what you're doing. I want to see what you're doing, I want to see what you're up to, and I want to come support you. And so that's one of those really important things. That's really how I got started last year, reading summer camp articles and messaging the hundreds of folks who submitted to my sponsored category. Yeah, see, for WorldAnvil it was a lot easier because I only had like 40 people like on the list completely. But yeah. And those were, like, that was a wonderful, wonderful start to my like streaming career. It's been about 8 months at this point since I've started streaming. And it's just such a wonderful hobby. It can be stressful. It can be anxiety inducing. And sometimes it can be, frankly, sometimes it can be very demoralizing. Because, you know, sometimes you'll put like everything into your next stream, like, oh yes, this is gonna be a hit. I'm gonna have so many people in here chatting, I can't wait to talk to everybody. And then it just happens to be one of those days where like everyone's busy or everyone can't make it, or just your usual chatters don't have the energy to like bring their hype, you know what I mean? And that's okay. Like, that's not your fault. That's not on you. But you just gotta power through. You gotta keep being consistent. You gotta keep showing up. And that's really what it is with things like streaming and content creation. You just keep showing up. You keep showing up no matter, like, the ups and the downs. You just keep pushing through. And eventually you'll reach a point where there's more ups than downs. And I'm kind of like, I feel like I'm at that point now. Things really feel like they're up. Things are good. People are hanging out. But in the beginning, I really felt like I was struggling with that a little bit. Because, you know, a new streamer in the wild world of the internet, it's hard to get that attention, you know? But yes, another big point of advice that I have for you is remember, your channel is your house, your channel is your home, and your viewers are your guests. You make your own rules, you set your own tone for your streams. And if people are joining your streams and they are making just like a bad time for everyone, a bad time for you, a bad time for your viewers, if they're coming in, like, God forbid, they're spewing hate, it's okay to just ban them. You can just forcibly remove anyone from your home that is causing problems. And that's okay. Because circling back to something I said earlier, like, removing a problem viewer, maybe removing a viewer from your stream, it's removing that little +1 to your view count, but it's also removing some terrible vibes that you don't want in your space. Like, it is very important to create a space that makes you feel comfortable, safe, and happy. And to create the space that mirrors that also for your viewers. So everyone, like, no one wants to come into a stream and just start being badgered. I mean, maybe some people do, but I don't know. I can't judge you if that's the case. But like for my own streams, like I strive to keep like a very cozy atmosphere where people can come in, do whatever they want to do, work on whatever they need to work on, and just share that like moment of creation with me. You know what I mean? So if someone is coming in and being noisy and dangerous, they don't belong in this space. You can give them like a little warning, like, hey man, we don't really do things like that around here. And if they back off, it's like, okay, no harm, no foul, sure. But if they double down, remember, like, this is your house. This is your home. You make the rules. You tell people, like, hey, this doesn't fly in this space. You cannot be hateful to people. You cannot be hurting other people. And Delana says, I think that's the best reason to have your space, because you can create that safe space. 100%. 100%. And so, yeah, like you really get to decide what it is that you want your space to be. We need beautiful spaces, exactly. But yeah, let's I want to go down this list of advice from Apu that I got, because it's really fantastic. And so, number one piece of advice that he gave me was watch Twitch. But don't just watch it as a viewer, do it as a student. Watch what streamers are doing. Try to think about why they're doing those things and what you would do if you were in a similar situation. So learn from other streamers, because, you know, other streamers, they've been doing this for a little while, they know things. And heck, if you can ask other streamers for advice, I recommend it. Let's see, noisy can be fun, I would hope, depending on the sort of stream you're running that day. Sometimes exciting and crazy time is fun. But yeah, don't be an arse and don't let people be. Exactly. Like, it's read the room, essentially, is what it is. Like, read the room. If you're... Oh, let's, this goes down to number 2 on the list, actually. Think about who you want to be as a streamer and get congruent. Do you want your stream to be hype all the time? So this is where the noisy people come in. It is okay to be spamming emotes and yelling all the time, because it's like, this is the hype, you know? Or do you want it to be chill? Do you want a lot of engagement or lurking? And so that part is actually really good for us. Like, a lot of streams who do tons of writing sprints, for example, if everyone's doing writing sprints, there's not really going to be a lot of talking, is there? There's not going to be a lot of chat engagement, because all the little typing fingers are going to be working on their keyboards, working on their little writing sprints. And so if that is the case, if you're running writing streams like this, maybe you want more lurkers. Maybe you want more people hanging out. And if you're playing games, like, especially if you're playing like really fun and silly, engaging games, you might want a lot of people chatting. Oh, completely forgot about the stream. Oh no. Let's see, what do you do if you have nobody even coming into your stream after months of 3 streams a week? If that is the case, I will have to ask, are you marketing your streams? Are you making connections in other communities? And are you making sure that everyone in your circle knows that you are streaming? Because we did mention Twitch on its own. Marketing is not a skill I even have. Yeah, unfortunately, to have like a successful stream, marketing is a very important aspect, because we did mention earlier, Twitch has no discoverability on its own. Like, absolutely none. There's maybe like once in a blue moon, people will search for a specific game, whatever you happen to be playing, and be like, okay, I'll click on this person, sure. That's harder for me than speaking Hungarian, and I don't even know one word of Hungarian. Yeah, I mean, yeah, marketing is huge for streamers, because you need to make your own discoverability. You need to post on other platforms, you need to make content on other platforms, honestly. I know most of the people I know who've gotten really successful on Twitch have other social medias that are doing way better than their Twitch accounts. Like, especially, I know not everyone likes this, but TikTok is a way that people promote themselves very frequently. It's a way that people promote their streams. using Twitter, using other social medias, just to build up a community. I'm horrible at marketing, but as an Anvilite, that's what's really helped me. Exactly. And so marketing is a skill that you can learn. Like, absolutely, this is a thing that you can learn. This is something you can practice. And it's something that you can build up over time. So if you're sitting there right now thinking, oh man, I suck at marketing, this is not the end for you. It does not have to end at that. Right, instead of thinking marketing, think sharing what you love in other places and mentioning that you talk about it on your stream. Exactly. Yeah, marketing is not just like making advertisements, you know? It's posting about your streams, it's posting about the things that you love. It's like, it's getting on people's radar. Even if people don't know that you stream right off the bat, and they just know you, if they see you often enough, they're going to start taking an interest in what it is that you do. And then if they take an interest in you and what you do, eventually they'll be like, oh wow, wait, okay, this person streams. I'm really interested in seeing what they do there. And you know, one of the greatest pieces of advice I have actually received in terms of streaming that isn't actually on my list, it's just something I just remembered. Watch your own VODs and see if it is something that you would sit down and watch personally. Yes, raiding other communities also good. Yes, absolutely. This is why you want to make friends on Twitch, so that you can raid each other and give each other support in that way. It is so wonderful to be sitting there hanging out and just get a raid, you know? Like people are just coming into your channel and saying hello. I've also seen people say sculpting is not something people want to watch. I would give that a 50-50. I think some people are really, really enticed by like crafting streams, by arts and crafting streams. But you need to find your market. That's really what it is. You need to find your niche. You need to find people out there on the broader internet who are really interested in this kind of thing. And yes, absolutely, there are niche crowds. I would say that the entire like world building streaming category is very niche in and of itself as well. Like, I don't know how many people outside of this community would actually come and hang out and watch us nerds like ramble about weird species that we're trying to come up with and make. But as it turns out, there's actually a lot of us out there. You just need to know where to look. Like if I didn't know about WorldAnvil, and if I didn't know about this community here, I feel like I would have nobody watching my streams because I just would have no one to talk to about it, right? Like I don't think I've ever seen a world builder in the wild without let's see, there's no category for world building, is there? I've seen people doing it on the D&D channel. I've seen most of the people, at least in this community, world building under the writers tag, the writers category. But it's really silly because writers is not like for writers. It's for an old indie game that no one really plays anymore called Writers. But it has been co-opted by writers, which is really funny to me. Because Twitch simply won't add one for just the writers. And yeah, writers are just chatting. Sometimes people will put it under tabletop RPGs because, oh yeah, Dazzly Catch said, I stream under tabletop RPG. Exactly. So you kind of figure out what your writing is more like related to. Exactly, we've been campaigning it for a long time. Yeah, Twitch just doesn't want to do it, so we have to make do. But yeah, more advice from Apu. Get consistent. Aim to become a part of people's routine. This is how you start growing a viewership. So yes, get consistent not only with your streams, not only with your schedules, but the way that you post about them, the way that you talk about them, and the way that you share all the new things that you're up to. So pushing aside the streaming side of things, make stuff. Make stuff, do stuff, post stuff. And the more people see of that stuff, the more likely they are to want to come watch you do it live. So if people really like your sculptures and they know about your sculptures, they think they're really awesome, and then you start telling them like, oh yeah, by the way, I'll be working on more sculptures on this Twitch stream over here, they're a lot more likely now, after seeing like a whole stream of your content, to be like, huh, I would really love to see how this person makes them. I'd love to hang out here. And yeah, networking. If you want to grow a stream, get ready to network. Absolutely. The more relationships you build with peers, the more likely you are to get raids. Raids are more eyes on your stream, more eyes is more follows, more subs, and so forth. And so this is what we were talking about. Networking, making friends who are also streamers. And these need to be like actual, genuine friendships. Some advice from my friend Grinning Hazard as well. There's a difference between joining a stream in their community and popping into a stream to self-advertise. If you start walking into other people's spaces and other people's streams purely to advertise yourself, this can burn a lot of bridges before they're even built. And that will be very damaging to your progress as a streamer. So if you're going to be joining other people's streams, other people's Discord servers, other people's everything, make sure that you only self-advertise if they have spaces dedicated to self-advertising, which a lot of Discords do. Like a lot of Discords in particular, they will have a whole channel where they're like, hey, post your things, post your streams, post your everything, support each other. And those are really wonderful spaces. But a lot of servers, not a lot of servers, a lot of channels on Twitch, you will see they have a rule, like a dedicated rule. It says, do not self-advertise in this chat. Because it's just disrespectful to walk into someone else's space while they're doing their own thing and being like, oh, by the way, I also stream. Come check out my stream, go watch it. I'm going to be live very soon. In particular, if this is someone that you don't know very well. If you're friends, if you're buddies, of course, you can say, oh yeah, I'm gonna be streaming here in a bit. And that's like, you know, just making conversation. But you're not going to make connections with new people by coming into their chat and just telling them, I am a streamer, come support me, come follow me, please. It's not good. It will do you more harm than it will favors, unfortunately. There you go. And also that ties into number 5 on Apu's list. As you network, respect people's self-promotion rules. Don't go to someone else's stream to promote your own. Go study a stream, work on being the viewer you want in your own chat. That attracts like-minded folk. Oh, one of the ESO streamers I know has a sound file of another streamer saying, oh, come hang out in my stream as we chill and stream with this chill streamy stream. That's really good. Yeah. And so really, so much of Twitch is just, like, be the viewer. Be the viewer that you want to see in the world. Make friends. Be cool. Be chill. Have a great time. And if you have a genuinely great time in another person's stream, this is A, hey, you found a new community you can be a part of. That's fantastic. And B, this is a learning experience. What do you like about this person's stream? What makes it so enticing to you? What are some ideas that you can kind of pull from this streamer and be like, oh, so they do something this way. They do it this way. Maybe I could do it a similar way, but I can do it a little bit differently because that suits me a little better. And being the viewer you want to is such good advice. It applies to everything. Yes, exactly. Like, be the good you want to see in this world. If you want great viewers in your channel, be a great viewer in other people's channels. Build those connections, build those friendships, and then those friendships will start to intermingle. And you'll start seeing each other in your streams. And the more friends you make, the more friends your friends make, and the more friends your friends make, the more friends you can make, because now your friends have friends that you can be friends with. it's just a whole cycle. It just grows out from there. Everything just becomes so much better and so much nicer. And you know what? Let us also talk about how so many streamers I know, myself included, are just flying by the seat of their pants every single time they hit the live button. We don't really know what's going on half the time. And that's okay. That is just fine. So, you know, you sit down and you watch your streamers with their thousands of followers. You think, oh, they've got it all figured out. Meanwhile, they're sitting there like, oh, why isn't this widget working? Why isn't this thing functioning the way I want it to? Why isn't this going the way I planned it? And, you know, you just don't see that side of them because they've learned how to hide it. They've learned to roll with the punches, and sometimes that's just one of the most important skills that you'll learn. Because, I mean, just like, take the channel that we're on, for example, WorldAnvil. Can anyone in the chat tell me what kind of like the unofficial slogan is of WorldAnvil streams? Because it's not a WorldAnvil stream without... Well, that is true. It is not a WorldAnvil stream without bois, but I was looking for the technical difficulties. Exactly. It's not a WorldAnvil stream without technical difficulties. So, it doesn't matter how many times you've done this, how many times you've gone live, how many times you've streamed before, on any channel, your own, on other people's channels. Things can and they will go wrong, and you just you're not always going to know how everything works. Punjin, Blue Anvil. Oh my gosh, you guys. I don't know that there's such thing as a perfect stream, even after you've gotten everything set up. And so it's really just navigating like, okay, how can you do your best with what you've got? And just, if something goes wrong, how do we navigate it? I have had blue screens in the middle of my streams and I come back like, hi everyone, how are we doing? That was no good. Or my power will go out and I just won't be able to stream. I'm like, that's no good. So things just go wrong. Which law is that? Is that Murphy's Law? If something can go wrong, it will. A perfect stream is one with your smiling face on it. Oh my god. Good toy point, thank you. Even if it looks like it, I guarantee you there was something done / not done that should have / shouldn't have happened. Yes, like, I cannot tell you the percentage of my streams that I go live, I load in, I say hello to everybody, I'm like, oh, I didn't change the text at the bottom of my screen that tells us what we're doing today. Ugh. And so I'm just sitting there like, while I'm live, like, sorry guys, I didn't update my little currently text. So you guys, you probably know what I'm doing, but I didn't announce it, so. In the IT business, I just roll with the blue screens and everything else and start to figure stuff out. 100%. You figure it out. You get there at the end. And the more silly little happenings that you go through on your streams, the more you'll learn to just deal with them, to work around them, to not be so, I'm gonna use the word neurotic because that's how I feel sometimes when things go wrong. It's like, you're not gonna freak out. You're just gonna keep it going. You're gonna keep it moving. You're gonna say, okay, well that didn't work out quite as planned, but we have all this other stuff that we can do instead. I can roll tech issues in real life, but I need to get over the fear of it on stream. Yeah, it's a big fear. It's a big fear. Because even with things out of your control, it's very easy to feel like, you know, like, oh, I should have had a better grip on this. Like, I should have prevented this from happening somehow. But how can you really prevent it every single time, right? We have to be very realistic about the things that we do, the things that we're capable of. Yo, his look and sound so awesome. Oh my gosh, you guys are so nice to me. Thank you. Yeah, you know, instead of just looking at a giant screen of text, I'll just put my face back up here. But yeah, like news shows and live productions, even when you don't see any errors, do you know how many people in the production crew are scrambling? Yes, 100% wordy girl. Yeah, imagine being a little streamer with little to no help. We're usually running it all on our own with our bots who sometimes malfunction. So give yourself grace, 100%. Yeah, see, Wordy Girl is also a streamer in the community, 100%. Very wonderful. And so, yes, she knows all about it. We all know about the technical issues. Sometimes the bots that we set up just don't... Sometimes they just take a little vacation. Sometimes they decide, oh, I'm not gonna work today. Sorry. You turn them on, and you type in a little command in your chat, and it's like, silence. Hello? Like, where are you? You're a little robot. Why aren't you doing the thing? Why aren't you following the little commands? But no, it's just... It is a very important skill to learn. Like, improv, huge. You just have to learn to roll with all kinds of wild stuff that happens. Because, you know, on stream, important thing to remember, you are live. Live! Everything happening is live. If something unexpected happens, you have to deal with it, like, right there. You don't have time to just sit and think about it, you know? But, following what we said already, people generally know that streamers are not these infallible creatures. These infallible godly beings. And so, you know, if something goes wrong, make it entertaining. You are alive, don't panic. You are alive, fix this now, do not panic. Including when your cat jumps into the stream. We'll see, cat jumping into the stream, this is time to show off your cat. Everyone loves that. Everyone loves seeing cats on stream. Then people start demanding to see the cat more often. Yes, the cat tax, the cat tax. You gotta show Kitty on stream. Me at work being a complete cartoon character. Yes, 100%. But yeah, I think my favorite piece of advice that I've gotten from other streamers in this is get ready to screw up and learn and screw up again. Yup, this. Things, especially starting out, you're not going to know how every single widget works, how every single function of your streaming software works. You might forget how to even set up your VODs, and so you might just not have any record of your past streams by accident. You're gonna mess up in the beginning. I know I did. I know I did a lot of silly things. I know I set up a lot of things wrong. I feel like I still set up things wrong sometimes. I just, you know, if I don't set it up properly, I just don't mention it, and so people don't know. And so if you're trying to do something specific on your stream, it's very, very just like keep quiet about it, and your audience isn't gonna know. But now we have to learn how to deal with the little sads on the inside that say, oh, this thing that I wanted to do didn't work out. How do I manage this? My starting screen is already rolling. And really, the mindset here is it is what it is. You're gonna get onto that stream, you're gonna have a great live, you're gonna talk to your people who might not even know that something is messed up, and you're gonna chill. You're gonna chill, you're gonna do the thing that you love, and things will eventually resolve themselves. Oh, the anti-stream pets. Oh. Yeah, I don't have a creature to interrupt my streams, unfortunately. I only have this little guy. He's soft, he is fluffy. I've named him Mr. Mochi because he's very squishable. Crush the mochi. But it's okay, because he comes back to form, like this. He's a good creature. Axolotl, exactly. Let's see, I feel like... alright. So very important thing to know about streaming. You don't want to get hit by copyright claims for the music that you use on your channel. I think Twitch is incredibly lax about the music that you play while you are live, but you need to make sure that the music you are playing does not show up in your VODs. It does not show up in your VODs, it does not show up in your recordings, so that while the videos remain on your channel, they do not get hit by copyright claims. Very, very important. So in a lot of streaming softwares, you will have the ability to set different, like, separate audio tracks. So for example, you'll have track 1, which is your stream track, and track 2, which is your VOD track. And so any audio you have that is tagged on both of those is going to show up in your VODs and in your stream and in your VODs. If you turn off the VOD track, your music will only appear in your stream. Twitch's stream software makes that easy. Cannot speak for OBS. Streamlabs, it's very easy in Streamlabs. The option to do it is just a little bit hidden, I feel. So many times I was muted when I wasn't even playing the song they claimed I was. Even when I was playing royalty-free songs, yes. Yeah, like, Twitch's censors are just silly sometimes. So even if you are playing music that you have rights to, if they think you're playing something else, they can still hit you with the stop that, and it's not very nice. And so you want to set things up so that unless you are like 100% certain, 100% certain that the music you are playing is like, you own that license and you can use it wherever you want, just make sure it turns off in your VODs. Make sure it turns off in your recordings. Make sure that if you post your stream videos anywhere, that music is just not there. Because the DMCA flags are, like, they don't play. And so you'll see a lot of streamers who are doing, like they're just playing their regular music playlists. Like, they're out there rocking out to Linkin Park, you know what I mean? But then you check their VODs and the music isn't in there. This is why. I cannot speak for certain if Twitch will flag you midstream. I don't actually know the answer to that. That is something worth checking out. But for that reason, I try to stick only to, like, my royalty-free music, even while I'm streaming. And even still, to be further safe, I try to remove it from my VODs as well. It makes kind of a silent VOD experience, but I think better to just have my voice on its own than to be flagged for copyright and, you know, potentially lose my channel, because that would not be good. And yeah. So that's pretty good. I'm wondering if anyone else has, like, specific questions, things that kind of burn on the mind, things that I haven't really addressed but you are still curious about. I will absolutely go through every little thing that people want to know about. And you know, I feel silly doing this now, but, like, little disclaimer, I've only been streaming for less than a year, so I am not a professional, but I know what the beginner experience is like, of course. And so that's why I'm here to say, like, here's how you just jump in. Here's how to get to it. I cannot promise you results, but I can promise you that getting started is very easy. Oh, is there a good tutorial on setting up bots? Tutorial, I'm not actually sure. However, in the case of MooBot, which I use, it was exceptionally easy to set up. You basically, like, you log in with your Twitch account, you hit the little buttons, and you say, yes, I would like this bot to do things. You give it moderator permissions, and then it's kind of off to the races. I I would imagine that depending on which bot you go to, there will absolutely be videos, tutorials on how to set them up. I just haven't really utilized them very much. Oh, and I've surprisingly been streaming for about 2 years, technically 3, but Strix, you seem like a pro. You've been at it for the longest. You're so professional. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. I don't know, I really leaned in heavily into that watch other streamers and learn lessons from them kind of thing. So much of what I do is me kind of looking like, okay, so I love seeing streamers who do stuff like this. I'm going to try to also do similar things. So just really combining like advice from other people with the things that I like to do and just kind of melding it together into this weird little ball and just throwing it at people, essentially. And just hear a catch, and you just, yeah, I don't want that to touch me, but I'm entertained. Let's see, license, pretty much anything you want is available from ASCAP, 308 for a year. Yeah, that is a very big investment for someone who's getting started. So the music service that I use is called Epidemic Sound. I believe they are increasing their price a little bit. So it's like $17 a month, which is still kind of a lot. But you get a really nice library of royalty-free music. But yeah, there are a lot of options out there. I believe there are free options for royalty-free music. And you can also look to people online who have specifically curated music that they have the rights to it, and they say, hey, you can use this music royalty-free in your streams, in anything else. And yeah, it would be invaluable for someone with a stream that needs to use music. Maybe if dancers on stream became a thing, yeah. And I've seen even with these services, they don't want you to have it in VOD sometimes and will still mute you. So I personally don't feel it's worth to pay so much. Yeah. I use royalty free and it still detects it. Twitch does, which is why I left that alone. Wait, Pixabay and Pexels has royalty free music? Interesting. And Kobu is on WorldAnvil Discord. He makes music and lots of his stuff is free to use. Yeah, like I believe that the soundtrack that WorldAnvil uses for their streams, who made that? Norse Foundry. Yes, the Norse Foundry playlist that WorldAnvil uses is also free to use on your streams. And I think that's really cool. The WorldAnvil Embers of Inspiration playlist. And so there are a lot of people who just have playlists out there like, hey, you can use this in your streams. Like, this is totally fine. So if you need like a completely free option, look for things like that. Absolutely. But I personally use Epidemic Sound for all my royalty-free music. It gives you permission to use it commercially. So I've used their music in my YouTube videos back when I used to do those. I use them in my streams, and it is okay in that case in particular for them to end up in my VODs. It's just, you know, it's kind of rough to play that game sometimes. Let's see. Other question, what is the best stream you've ever done so far? It's really hard for me to decide like what quantifies the best stream I've ever done. Well, maybe WorldAnvil streamers could pull together and make a list of resources they find helpful. I think that would be fantastic. There is actually the WorldAnvil Streamer Core. I believe that is a thing that still exists. I think that would be a fantastic project to bring to their attention. And I believe that is also something that I meant to join ages ago, but just haven't yet. Oops. Yeah, I've been meaning to do that. It's just no one talks about it, so I always forget. But maybe we need to revive that. Because if there's anything I've learned in this lifetime as a streamer, streamers need to support other streamers, and we all rise up together. I believe it's very inactive at the moment, but I haven't interacted with it in a long while. Yeah, listen, maybe we need a revival. We revive chapters, we can revive the ASC. Just saying. But no, back to the question I was trying to answer originally. My best stream. So my best stream, honestly, I think it would be one of my recent streams, very recent, where I decided to do my first charity stream. And that was a really fun and exciting thing. I set my very first little baby goal of $100 to raise for children's hospitals, and I did it. I made it in the end. And so I got to do the thing that I love, you know, playing silly little video games, playing some Baldur's Gate, which, by the way, everyone in chat can tell me how invested you are in this game, because I am extremely, even though I haven't left Act 1 yet because I keep starting new characters. But yeah, I raised $100 playing Baldur's Gate for Extra Life. And that was really cool and a really exciting thing. And it was my first ever time doing something like that, so I stumbled all the way through it. I didn't even have alerts set up for donations. It was, on a technical level, it was a complete disaster. Like, full stop. I did not have any of those things, like, set up properly. But we still met our goal. We still met the goal, which is awesome. And so that's really one of those examples of, like, things can go wrong just all over the place, but you still have a good time. And that's like, I feel like that's my best example of that happening as well. But yeah, okay. You know, another question that I did get is how to manage a stream setup from one monitor. Now this is a challenging one, of course, because a screen only has so much real estate on it, and you need to use it wisely. That's why it really helps to have one monitor and a second monitor. But my biggest, like, very simple piece of advice is if you have only one monitor to use while streaming, avoid using full screen capture and use window capture. So have your streams pick up the content of one particular window that you have open, as opposed to grabbing the entire screen and all of its contents. This will allow you to have multiple windows open and not feel like you're juggling weird things, trying to hide things, trying not to show people different windows. No. You have your single window that's being picked up by your stream software, and so even if you have stuff over it, you can still only show that window. Yes, keep your secrets. Keep your secrets, make sure. Because there are a lot of things that you just don't want people to see on your streams, right? Like, you don't want people to show your chat logs. You don't want everything... You don't want your secrets to... Sorry, Spotify got really weird there for a second. A little silly. Another helpful idea seen as streamers use effectively for the screen dilemma is opening chat on their phone. Yes, absolutely. Opening chat on your phone is a really good way to do things. Because if you have your little telephone right in front of you, you just pull up the Twitch app, and now you're sitting in your own chat and you can chat with people, and you can watch chat without having it directly on your screen. Let's see. OBS cannot show its own window in the output, which is already really helpful. Oh, that's really cool. That's a really cool feature. Yeah, see, Streamlabs does not do that. Yeah. If you have window capture on and you drag Streamlabs into it, it's on display for everyone to see. Although I think they hide anything important, like all your links and codes and things, so you're not going to accidentally show those on stream unless you click a bunch of extra buttons that you really shouldn't be pressing while you're on stream anyway. So at the very least, there's that. And yeah, this guy was trying to buy a game or something on stream and he was so scared about showing his credit card on the stream. Well, listen, that's a real rational fear. Sometimes people sometimes people do show these things on stream. Sometimes they dox themselves, and it's like, that was not good. Little oopsie poopsie moment. And yeah, so just stop showing that Elgato. Yeah, just make sure that your information is like safe and secure and it's not being shown on your screen. Like, tightly manage the windows that you have appearing in your little window. If you are using screen capture, just try to make sure that everything you're opening and everything you're moving around just kind of doesn't flash on that screen real quick. Like, this isn't really an issue in my book, but like sometimes I'll just open Discord and it'll be like smack in the middle of my screen. I'm like, oh, let me move that out of the way real quick. Phew. So yeah. You just gotta be careful. Gotta be careful, gotta manage what you're showing. Gotta do your best. Listen, us as streamers, that is what we are doing. We are doing our best. We are doing everything that we can. Yeah. So let's see, what else is a burning question about streaming and how to get started? Is there anything I've addressed about specifically getting started that people want more information about that maybe I haven't touched on quite enough yet? So I don't know, because I don't know, deciding stream times, deciding on what your schedule is going to be. I think that's a pretty good point to make. Oh, I love this so much. Need to catch the rest on VOD. Gotta get ready for Zoom. You enjoy your little meeting. And thank you for all the kind words today. It was much appreciated, Delana. But yeah, deciding on the times and durations of your streams. There are a lot of different approaches for this. I, in particular, have chosen my stream days simply based off of my availability. I don't have a lot of flexibility with when I can stream. And so I just I do my little Tuesday evenings, because that's like the only evening during the week where I'm free. And then I just do streams over the weekend, because of course I'm free on the weekend. And that includes Friday, which is really cool. I got Fridays off now, so that's how I am here right now, talking to all of you wonderful beings about how to become a streamer. But yeah, I was asked, do you target specific age groups or locations with your stream's time and length? Oh, you can ask Torchic to fill in? Yeah, little buddies. And so like, don't talk to me or my son's son ever again. But yeah, choosing your schedule, choosing your times. So I chose my days for streaming, definitely just based off of my own, availability, based on my own comfortability. But I definitely have chosen to stream much earlier in the day during the weekends because I know that I have a lot of friends and a lot of viewers who are from much later time zones than me. So of course, I'm like United States Eastern Time. Most of the people I know that love to pop into my streams are over in Europe. So that's a difference of like 5 hours or more, depending on how far east you are from me. And yeah, so if I stream only in the evenings, a lot of my friends simply will not be able to come watch my streams, whether they want to or not, unless they are certified insane and they are staying up until like 4 or 5 in the morning. Which, alright, WorldAnvil, like world building community, how many of you sleep at normal hours? Just asking. How many of you actually go to bed at normal people hours? Sleep? What is sleep? Not me, exactly. So that gives me a little bit of leeway. I don't have to stream early in the morning. I can still stream in like I can still stream in the afternoon and still catch a bunch of people. You have a bedtime? Is that like a rhetorical question or a personal attack or something? A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. Oh, me, I have children, I have no choice. We'll have to pour one out for Katoy Boy. But yeah. So basically just know who your target audience is, and if you're able to adjust your stream schedule to accommodate for them, then absolutely, that'll only help you. But if trying to accommodate other people in your Twitch stream schedule hinders you, like, deeply, like if you're trying to stream at really weird and uncomfortable times because you know that more people are going to be available at those times, you're going to start burning yourself out. Like, absolutely, like, the more decisions you make in the interest of, like, gaining viewers as opposed to having a comfortable streaming experience, the more likely you are to burn yourself out and lose a lot of wind. It's going to be harder for you to stream. It's going to be harder for you to bring all of your energy, all of yourself to your streams if you're doing everything for the viewer and nothing for yourself. So it's a balance, right? If you're streaming just for yourself, just for the enjoyment, for the love of streaming, pick your own schedule, do it whenever you feel like it. Nothing is going to, like, hurt you in that regard. If you are trying to, like, build up a Twitch stream that, like, you can push into, like, a commercial venture, if you're really trying to monetize your stream, if you're trying to make it into a business for yourself, for example, if you're trying to be a Twitch partner, if you're trying to really, like, if you're trying to become a full-time streamer, for example, then you might need to start making a lot more decisions about what's going to get people into your streams. Yeah, if your stream is not sustainable, then it's not worth sharing. Moonlight Bard with the facts right here. You need to find a schedule that's sustainable to you. You need to find methods and, like, the tools and methods to make your stream sustainable for you. Like, you need to make your life as easy as possible so that you have the extra reach available to you to do things that are not quite as comfortable for you, but aren't hurting you. Because the more comfort you surround yourself with, the easier it'll be to reach further. So give yourself a base to work off of that you can fall back on no matter what, and then start reaching your hand out for new ideas. Reach your hand out for new techniques, new schedules, new other things, experimenting with what works for you and what doesn't. And doing so is a lot easier when you have that safety net to fall back on. If you know, like, okay, if this thing doesn't work, I can just go back to the way I was doing it before. Then you at least know, like, hey, all is not lost if this doesn't work out. I can just go back to what I was doing before. I had a formula, it was good, it was working out for me. Perfect, fantastic. You don't need to make it a whole ordeal. You don't need to wing it, to weigh everything, to hang everything off of one little decision. No, take it one step at a time. Take it one step at a time. Make sure that whatever you're doing works for you. And when things start working for you, if you're having a good time, it's going to start working for other people too. And the people for whom it works will find you, will find your channel. And once you start meshing together, it'll be a wonderful little partnership of streamer and viewer. And this community will grow and expand, and it'll be a wonderful, wonderful time. So there we go. That is one question. That was really good. There you go. Balancing activities that you do on stream with interacting with your viewers. Also a tough one, actually. Because especially us in the writer space and the artist space, there are going to be a lot of times where we are kind of, like, we're doing activities that kind of pull us into our own worlds. And so that makes it difficult to kind of break your attention from one thing to go focus on the other. Breaking your attention from your writing to go look at your chat. Or breaking attention from your chat to continue your writing, for example. And so, once again, we kind of tie back to previous advice, like decide what you want the vibe of your stream to be. It's very difficult to have a purely a purely creative stream and still be like super engaging. And Moonlight Bard, can you share how you handle this? Absolutely. You are more than welcome to share how you handle this. Any of the streamers in the chat right now are more than welcome to share their own advice, the way that they handle this too. Like, we have a whole community of streamers here with wonderful tips and tricks and advice, and I think we should all share. Because I am just one creature. I am one creature with my own methods for things. My opinions about different things might actually differ from others in the community, so go ask around for sure. But yeah, balancing activities that you do with the interactions of the chat. Because yeah, so especially when you're doing something and working on something and you have a new viewer pop in and they ask, what are you doing? What are you up to? And now here you go, going into a spiel about what exactly it is that you're doing. And it's kind of distracting you from the actual thing that you were doing. This is one of those things that I find actually difficult to balance myself personally. But those bots, the chat bots that I mentioned earlier, it actually helps a lot of the time to have commands that kind of go into what it is that you're doing, what you're working on. Let's see, I run my stream in 20 minutes writing sprints, then 10 to 15 minutes of interaction / playing a game. My whole stream is usually about co-working and short focus, but I always stop for raids and new people. Absolutely. Yeah, stopping for raids, 100% I recommend it. Definitely acknowledge the person who raided you, say hello to your new viewers. It's usually a good time to stop and like introduce yourself. So for all the people who have hopped in on the raid and don't know who you are, you can give them a little spiel like, hi everyone, I'm Lion, I'm a world builder, I do this, that, and this other thing. I still need to work on my spiel, of course, otherwise I would have given you the actual thing. But yeah. Because like when you receive people warmly in your channel, in your chats, people kind of remember that and they're like, oh, this person's really nice. I like being here. This is pretty cool. And there's always a timer to show how long until end of work block. Heck yes. Let's see, where to go? Sometimes I don't get as much work done, of course, because I'm interacting with chat and stuff like that. I feel like chat comes first. That's why they're here, to see us. So if I'm on screen totally ignoring them, unless I explicitly state that's what the stream is about today, I'm not going to do that. Yeah, 100%. So if you're doing writing sprints, like, you know, you tell everyone, like, hey, we're doing writing sprints. They're going to be like these timers that say how long, like, you know, I'm not going to be interacting for this long. You know, work on your own things. Come do writing sprints with us in that time, and then when the timer's up, we'll come chat again and play some games. You know, like, find that balance, but make sure people know what's going on. And I will be the one to say, like, I think if you're, like, live on Twitch and you're not specifically doing an activity that's like, okay, we're not interacting for a little bit, chat kind of does come first. Like, you're here for, like, a community activity, essentially, streaming. And so if people are coming into chat, like, say hello, interact with them. Like, let people know that you're happy to see them, that they're welcome, and, like, ask them what they're doing, ask them what they're working on. Like, make sure the people who are coming to see you, like, feel seen and appreciated, at the very least. And so that's why it's really helpful in streams to have different alerts and things that people can interact with as viewers. Like, you know, maybe they can pay such and such amount of channel points to make a little soundbite play, or to make a little animation pop up on the screen. I have noticed recently, it has become more popular to have like follower notifications be anonymous. So that's pretty interesting. I know a couple streamers who do that as well. For the kind of like the same reason that people shouldn't call out lurkers in your stream. Sometimes people want to just drop a follow and not really be acknowledged. They just like the space, they want to come back again, and so they hit the little follow button. And yeah, and allow time for a delay between chatting to viewers and then replying. There you go. Yeah, see, it's really nice. It's also, like, as a viewer, consider it this way, like, if you pop into someone else's stream and you start talking in their chat, and then they just don't say anything to you, sometimes it feels like a little, that's unfortunate, you know what I mean? Feels a little haboo, you know? And I always find more fun things to do and for people to buy, and I let them know that they aren't spending real money, which sometimes people are new to how Twitch works. Yeah, absolutely. So sometimes people just don't know. Channel points are a free thing that you just get from hanging out and watching the chat. Oh, you know, very important thing I feel that I should mention about starting out. So unlocking emotes for your channel, unlocking channel points for your channel, these are all features that are tied to being a Twitch affiliate. And so being a Twitch affiliate is what unlocks subscriptions as well. Like, it's what allows you to even make any money off of Twitch whatsoever. The requirements for this are pretty lax. I believe you need 3 average viewers over a month, I believe. Oh, let's see. I can pull this up pretty quickly, I believe. Where are you? Under analytics, I think. Path to affiliate. Yes, you need 50 followers. Stream for 8 hours over a month-long window. Stream on seven different days in a month-long window. And average 3 viewers. So that's 3 live viewers on average. When you're just starting out, this can be very hit or miss. You can get it very quickly, or it can take you a little while. Oh, not replying is a 100% way to get me to not revisit a streamer. Yeah, see, like, people really value the interaction. Break time, I can actually chat for a few minutes. Wonderful. Yeah, so becoming a Twitch affiliate. Not particularly challenging. But when you're just getting started, sometimes it can feel like a real hurdle to even get a couple of viewers in on a regular basis. But that is why it is so important to tell people, like, hey, I'm going to start streaming. Hey, I'm doing this thing and I'd really like it if you came by. Like, talking to the people that are already close to you and being like, hey, I'm trying to start this thing. Would you like to support me, like, for free? Like, you don't have to pay me anything. Just, like, come by, hang out. Spare a tab for me while I'm streaming. Like, sometimes it really is that simple. And if you make these little connections and you get your friends all in on it, it's pretty easy to get your affiliate. But then yes, so affiliate unlocks wonderful, wonderful things like the channel points that we were just talking about. And with different extensions and mods, you can actually tie channel points to all kinds of things. You can make little sound alerts. You can make fun things like how in my server, we have a little channel point redeem that makes me take a sip. Take a little sip. And what my viewers love to do is they like to chain them. So someone will say, take a sippy, and I do so. And then another person hits the button, and then another person hits the button. And there I go, draining an entire mug in the span of like 10 seconds. Who? Oh, certainly not Kitoipoi. You certainly wouldn't know who does this, right? Who does this to you? Oh, it's a mystery, I'll never know. I will simply never know. But no, it's wonderful. And it brings me to another topic of using streams as a form of accountability. So many people like to bombard me with redeems at the end of a stream when I'm saying I'm about to end it. Yeah, right? Like, I'll be like, okay, I'm ending the stream, and everyone's like, sippy? But yeah, using streams as a form of accountability as well. Popping onto a stream and saying, okay, I'm going to do work today, is a really good way to peer pressure yourself into getting something done. Because, like, I could sit in my desk at home by myself all night and not do a single thing. But if I make an announcement that says, hey, I'm going to be working on this during stream tonight, come by and hang out, Oh, sippy. Ooh. Yes, use your anvils to give me sippies on this stream. But yes, if I say that I'm going to be working on something during stream tonight, come hang out. It gives me a lot more incentive to sit down at my computer and actually do the thing that I promised I would be doing. And I think that is perhaps my favorite part about being a Twitch streamer. Because I have the strongest executive dysfunction known to man. And so sometimes I will spend an entire day not doing the thing that I'm supposed to be doing, even though I would like to do the thing. I would like to do the thing, I know that I need to do the thing, but am I doing the thing? No. No, I'm scrolling on TikTok because I can't get myself to move. So putting my work onto a little schedule and telling people that I'm going to be working on this thing gives me a very strong incentive that says, okay, well, I told everyone I'm doing this, it's on my schedule, and so it's very time sensitive, and people are going to be watching, and people are going to expect me to talk about the thing that I've done on stream. Voila! Suddenly motivation is born, and now I spend 2 hours on my channel working on this thing that I was otherwise struggling to get work done on. And now, of course, as streaming is a very social activity, I might not get a ton of work done. I might not be able to focus completely on the thing that I'm doing. However, I'm still doing it. I'm still doing it, I'm still getting something done, and I'm sharing that experience with other people who want to see me succeed. These people are here, it's like, oh, Strixline is doing this thing. They're actually doing the writing. I want to see it happen. And so now I have to look to all of you wonderful citizens out there watching me do the thing like, huh, I can't let these people down. I have to do the thing. Yeah, something is better than nothing. Exactly. Exactly. So I pop onto this stream, I start doing work. I'm like, well, I didn't get a ton of work done, but I got work done. And that's really cool. And so sometimes after the stream is over, I'll be like, okay, well, maybe I'm kind of on a roll right now. Maybe now, because I'm not like streaming anymore, I can like power the brain down and I can like really dive directly into this thing that I'm working on. And then I get even more stuff done. Line, that is 100% the reason why I stream self-accountability for the writing that I want to get done. 100%. The Marine Corps ads on Twitch, neat. Oh yeah, I think I've been seeing that too. But yeah, ads on Twitch, they're pretty oppressive. That is why the little subscribe button is so tantalizing on so many different channels. But unfortunately, I can only afford to spare so much. And how's the stream? The stream's going pretty well. I'm having a good time. I hope everyone else is having a good time. Oh yeah, one in particular, not me. Certainly. Yeah, I love all the people calling themselves out in the chat like, oh, I certainly don't spam redeems in other people's chats. No, sir. Not me. I've not seen any ads on Twitch so far. Turbo helps. Yeah, listen. Oh, I was making someone laugh. Yeah, we make a big deal about ads because ninjas. We have a redeem for pause. There's an ad for those who are not subscribed. Ugh. Sippy. Oh my gosh. Spamming redeems. Pungent? That's not a pungent entry. I would never. But yes. So let's see. Bum, 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 bum. We found the way! Yes, there you go. So if ever I appear on this channel and you want me to take a sip, there you go. Just a little highlighted sippy. I'll take another one for your creativity. I'm gonna have to go back and watch the VOD. Streaming has been a maybe thing for me. Streaming is fantastic. I think streaming is a great hobby. It has brought me a lot of joy. It's brought me a lot of wonderful connections and a lot of friends that I don't think I would have made otherwise. And so really, the best thing I can say is like, if you are thinking about streaming, just give it a shot. Like find yourself a little like find yourself a little, like, a humble but fun event that you can just bring to life. Well, music is the one big question mark for me, but I'm sure you've already talked about it. I have mentioned it as, already during the stream. I, like, for now, like, obviously you can go check the VOD later, but for now I will just say, like, music. Make sure it's not in your VODs. Make sure it's not in your recordings. But you can play practically anything while you are live. Yeah. Let's see. But yeah, you don't need the best tech, you don't need the best anything to get started streaming. You just need to start. I feel no shame in saying the Torchics on the shelf have given me 100% of my daily value of serotonin. I'm so grateful. Wonderful. Aren't they the most wonderful little creatures? But yeah, like when you first begin, like your first ever stream, like the first time you're ever doing anything on Twitch, like you kind of don't have access to a lot of the things that make like a more experienced stream a thing, you know? Like you don't have access to emotes. You don't have access to redeems. You don't have access to subs, you know, like there are a lot of things that you just don't need to worry about yet. So in the very beginning, set yourself up with the framework that you need to begin to stream. Get yourself a little audience. Oh, do I see a summer camp Christmas ornament back there, or where do I get one? Wait, hold on, I'm turning the wrong direction. This little thing, I actually got this at the summer camp meetup, the little picnic in New York City. I believe it was Ellen Physics who made it. It's one of our sages, I think. I'm not 100% sure on the guild rank. I think sage. But yeah, one of our sages, Ellen Physics, made these and handed them out to us while we were at the picnic. And it's so cute, right? I love it. Oh, music on stream. Careful with stuff like Cannibal Corpse can get messy. Well, listen, if you're bringing the hype, it could be pretty fun. Yeah, it's early game simplicity is what makes the grind easier, I think. Yeah, streaming can absolutely be a grind. Like, as with anything that you do, that's kind of like anything that you do that's kind of like professional, public facing, you're on a schedule, you're like working on a set time frame, it can feel very grindy. But streaming can also bring a lot of joy. And like that is why I continue to stream, because I think streaming is very fun. I think it's really fantastic. It brings me joy, it brings me a lot of friendships. It's just a great time. And so even though, like, yeah, there are times where I'm like, oh, I don't know if I can keep up with the grind today. Like, I got graphics to make, I got schedules to put together, I have planning to do. It's not super glamorous behind the scenes, really. Because, like, you really have to learn to manage your time, to set things up properly, to work ahead of time. Most of the work that you're going to do as a streamer is going to be outside of streaming. So I think a good balance for like if you're making streaming like a business, like if you're really investing a lot into your streaming, achieving success in streaming looks something like 20% streaming, 80% everything else. It's 80% your marketing, your graphics, your planning, your editing, your everything, your content creation off of Twitch. You know, like there are a lot of little bits and pieces that when you put them all together, they're way more important than what you actually do on stream. But the stream is where it all comes together. It's where all of the work that you've been doing on the side kind of culminates, and now you're here on this live stage talking to everyone and sharing what you've been up to and what you've been doing. So absolutely, there's a grind. There's a grind behind it. Oh, break is over. I'll be lurking. Have fun. You have a wonderful rest of your work day. I assume work day. But yeah, there's a grind. There's a grind, but it's also very worth it, in my opinion. So, all right. All right, there you go. Okay, so I'm gonna try to do like the most recappy recap that I can manage. And if we feel like I've really missed anything, you are more than welcome to ask questions, to just kind of like bring up other points and ask for more clarifications. I am not a qualified educator. So if I missed any pieces of information, it's very likely, and I will not be upset if you're like, hey, can you explain this a little better? I didn't get it. Or did you explain this already? I don't know. I think I missed it. A-okay. That's completely fine. There you go. Your first day of streaming from beginning to end, or the prep work for your first day of streaming. Find your topic, find your subject, find the thing you love that you want to work on, to share with the world, and do on your streams. 2, set up your account. Prepare it for use. Get your about information set up. Put your links on your channel. Get some panels on there. Set up your rules. Set up your schedule. Just make sure that when people show up to your account, they know who you are and what they're getting into. And they'll know what to expect from you in the future, even if they don't stick around for very long. 3, get yourself a streaming software of choice. Find the software that you will be using to stream. For my example, I shall use Streamlabs because that is what I'm familiar with. Set up your Streamlabs. Find some panels and graphics that you would like to use. Keep them super simple to begin with. You have so much time to decide what you want your visual identity to look like if you don't already have one. I was lucky. I am an artist before I ever started streaming, and so I already had an idea of what I wanted my brand to look like. If you have something like that already set in place, work with it and implement it into your streams. So here we go. You got the topic, you got the channel, you got the software, you got the layout. Now, add some chatbots to your channel for a little bit of assistance and moderation, for a little bit of assistance in setting up commands, so that people who join your channel are able to just know little bits and pieces of information without having to badger you for them. Or at the very least, you'll have a way to very quickly answer people in chat who have questions. If you want to avoid showing your face, there are free options for showing PNG tubers, which are basically VTubers, but they're just like 2 little images, closed mouth illustration, open mouth illustration, and they do the little ma thing while you talk. You know what I mean? Yeah. So yes, you got the software, you got the layout, you got either your face or a representation of your face, or none. None is an option. So there you go. You should have a microphone if you plan to be speaking. You should set up some music for some background noise. If you are setting up music on your stream, make sure that in your streaming software settings you have music so that it is not set to your VOD or recording tracks, so that it does not appear in the videos that get saved after you finish your stream. But they will play during your stream, which is really great. Let's see, where do we go from here? So I think that may just be it for just getting yourself set up. With all of that set up, you hit your little live button and you go live. And hopefully, before this little... A none as an option? What? I do not know. But hopefully, before you hit that little go live button, you've told all your friends and family, badgered them repeatedly perhaps, that's slightly a joke, that you are going to be streaming, that you're going to be doing this thing, that you are embarking on a new adventure. And so hopefully you'll have some support right out the gate. Invite people to chat, welcome them, but more importantly, this is your first stream. Make sure that you have something planned. Make sure that you're going to be doing something, working on something, so that even if no one chats, which is very possible and very likely, you are going to be occupied, you're going to have things to talk about, you're going to have things that you can commentate on and share, even if no one else is talking. It's one of those skills to develop, is just talking when no one else is. Because if people join in while you're streaming, and you're just talking about stuff, you're just sharing little things, little stories, little quips about random stuff, that gives new chatters something to latch onto. A little conversation starter that they can jump into and carry on a conversation with you. If you're sitting there silently because no one else is speaking, they don't really have something to come in with aside from, what are you up to? What are you doing? And you know, sometimes people don't really want to pop in and ask that question. So yes, just get in there, get your friends involved, start talking, start doing your thing. And then at the end of your first stream, you're going to hit that end stream button. You're going to sit down and you're going to reflect. How did it go? And you can be very honest with yourself. Like, did you have a good time? Did you have a bad time? Why was it a good time? Why was it a bad time? Did something not go well for you? Did you want to do something and fail to? Did you want to do something and simply not know how? Go watch the VOD of the stream that you just finished. Is it entertaining to you? Would you come back to a streamer if this was like the stream experience that you saw? If not, ask why. Why would you not come back to this? I'm gonna say the only answer that is not acceptable for this is because it's me on the screen. No. No. Be real technical, be real constructive with your criticism of yourself. Watch that VOD and say, why is this interesting, or why is this not interesting? What can I do to make this more engaging? Should I talk more? Should I talk less? How's my audio quality? Am I too quiet? Should I turn up my microphone? I know when I first started streaming, my microphone settings were very low. And so people would always tell me that they have to max out the volume of the stream and would still barely hear me. And so that's something that I've tried to work on, and I hope that things are better now. But really, that's really important. Rewatch your VODs. Give yourself, like, a legitimate, fair critique and say, okay, so this is what I should do differently. This is what I would change in a future stream. And then put that into motion for the next time. Ask people that you know were there for their honest opinion. If you go that route, be open to critique. Like, don't take it personally if they say that your very first stream had some issues. It's your very first stream. I'd be more surprised if it didn't have issues. But identifying what those issues are from the very beginning is very helpful and stops you from making the exact same mistake from the very beginning of your stream career for months ahead of time simply because you didn't want to address that it was there. And yeah. So there you go. Stream round 2. The next time, maybe you've changed a couple things up. Maybe you've changed your layout a little bit. Maybe you've set up some follower alerts. Maybe you've figured out how to, like, have it show up on your screen and play a silly little sound every time someone follows. That's really fun. That's really great. And that really helps you kind of like, it helps bring to your attention when you have a new follower, and then you can stop and say, hey, thanks for following. It's much appreciated. Just let the people know that you appreciate them and their visits. And yeah, I feel like from there, the world is just your oyster. Keep doing the things you love, keep bringing your authentic self to your streams, and things are just going to fall into place over time. It might take time. It might take a lot of time for you to really like settle into what is like your zone, you know? But as long as you feel like you're having a good time, as long as you feel like this is something that you'd like to keep doing in the long term, just keep going. Keep going, keep showing up, and you'll work it out eventually. And even if you don't work it out, at least you're having fun, so you're gonna have fun trying. And that's sometimes the more important thing. Oh, Melissa Plays, hello. Welcome. How are you doing today? I feel like we're kind of in the wrapping up stages of this little stream. So if we have any final questions, anything that I can address for you, you're more than welcome to ask, and I encourage you to do so. For the time being, I wish to express my heartfelt thanks to everyone who has offered me both questions and advice to provide to all of you on this stream. This includes many of my wonderful WorldAnvil friends who provided questions for me to answer, some of my chapter members who provided their own input, and to my friend streamers who provided some of their opinions and suggestions and advice for the newbie streamers in the house. So this includes Grinning Hazard, CB Doodles, It's Eggs Benedict, and Apu Wagyu TV. Much appreciated for the support, my streamer friends. And see, there is the value of having streamer friends. You can share advice together. You don't have to go through this alone, and that's the most important thing. If we have each other as a network of streamers, we can help each other rise up. Because we don't want to be like the crab bucket, where we hold each other back. Because that just hurts everybody, right? It doesn't help anybody. We lift each other up in this community. I think that's just one of the truest things about WorldAnvil in general. And so, us streamers in the WorldAnvil community, we can really help each other out too. So offer a little lurk every once in a while if you see your friends streaming. Drop by to say hello. Even if you can't stay, it's always really nice. Just say, hey, I was here. Welcome. And yeah, the best way to support your Twitch streamer friends, like if you're not going to be streaming, the best way to support your Twitch streamer friends is to just be there. Show up to their channel. Drop a little message, even if it's just like a little message to say, hey, I'm lurking today. It's so appreciated. It's so appreciated. We're really appreciative that you just take the time to even be there at all. And it's really nice. I always love when streamers talk streaming. We all do it different, which means we all have things to learn and teach. Exactly. Like, I know that I do things differently from a lot of other streamers that I know, and those streamers do things a lot differently from other streamers that I know. There are very few wrong ways to stream. And the only wrong ways to stream are ways that compromise your safety and just make a terrible time for you. As long as you're having a good time and you are staying safe, there's no real wrong way to do it. Because if you have a certain way that you like to run your streams, you're gonna find your tribe. You're gonna find the people who also like the things that you like. Yeah, as long as you're being authentic and safe, 100%. And so, thank you everyone for coming to my little TED Talk today. I hope that I was able to impart some good advice and good information to you. And on the request of some people in the chat, I think I will be making a blog post with some of this information in a more like streamlined way. So I hope if anyone in here was thinking about streaming, maybe you'll find your little push to get started. And when you do, absolutely, I recommend checking out the Anvilite Streams channel over in the Discord server for WorldAnvil. I believe you will need to get in contact with someone from the community team to get you the little streamer role. But once you do that, there is an Anvilite Streams channel in which you can post your stream links, as long as you're working on something world building related, or just, you know, world building, WorldAnvil adjacent. If you're being a little creative member of the community, you can post your streams there. And anyone who's looking for a little stream to watch will be able to click on your little link and check you out. So there you go. More on the self-promotion. Absolutely. Post your streams wherever you can, wherever you are able, and wherever it is respectful. So yes, we will be ending our stream here. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out. At TED Talk, who's Ted? It's me, I am Ted. But yes. Support each other, love each other. That is what this community is the best for. Let's see. Everyone, grab your hammers. I need to find mine. What hammer will I use today? Oh no. I lack a hammer, but I have a muffin. Everyone, grab your hammers. Grab your sippies and go world build. Everyone, have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. Have a fantastic, fantastic time, and to all my future streamers, I'm so excited to see what you do out there. Farewell. Sippy. Grab your muffin and go world build. Alright, goodbye everybody.